Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bar Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bar Hashem, Harakah, Kadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well, and shalom to the hopeful elect. The title of this will be determined when it's uploaded, but basically, I wanted to delve into a couple. It's something that just through the Spirit came to me in a funny scenario, but I wanted to build a video around it, and an example of the judgment of the wicked, okay? And as it tells you in the book of Job 9:4, that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. If not, he covereth the faces of the judges, if not, where and who is he? That scripture is actually talking about the so-called white man who has reinvented himself, rebranded, and opened back up, represented himself to the world as the so-called white man, whereas he was formerly known as the sons of the wicked, or Edom, Esau, Edom, okay? The Edomites, right, to basically remove that, the identity from himself and deceive the masses of the people, okay? But the point being that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, all right? And that this time of rulership is short-lived, all right? Though it seems like he's winning for the moment, all right, judgment is going to be brought to him. And I'll show an example of that whilst delving into this lesson. So this is Galatians 6:7. Be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. All right? So I'm going to go into this again and, break it down bit by bit. So it reads, be not deceived, all right? So, for you, brothers that have been in this word for a certain amount of time are aware that, judgment is going to come to pass. The Most High will not rest his judgment unless he give thee mercy, but judgment will always come forth, all right? So that's why it says, be not deceived. And you that may be new to this faith, all right, or you that you're yet to come to the faith, may be looking at Esau like, damn, like he just keeps on doing so much evil and getting away with it. No, the Lord is saying, be not deceived, all right? Because that's Esau's whole vibration, deception, right? He makes it look like the only way you can win is by being wicked, whereas this is the end of all generations, all right? As we know it, before we proceed into the kingdom of heaven. And if you read the book of 2nd Esdras, it tells you about the world as basically degenerated, where righteousness, somewhat ruled during the earlier years of this, the earlier 1,000 years or so of the creation of this earth. But then as we've gone on through time and generations, this is we're in the most wicked generation, which to what even Yahweh Shai said, a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, all right? So that's why, again, Galatians, Paul is saying, be not deceived, right? Yahweh is not mocked. The Most High ain't going to be mocked by the wickedness that is reigning upon the earth. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap, all right? Now, think about the process of farming. It's a process, all right? You have to till the ground. You have to basically, after the time of winter, you have the earth that's basically soft and, because of the rain, and you got to till it. Then you got to put your seeds in. Then you have to wait for your seeds to sprout and go through that process before it bears fruit, all right? And it's the same with wickedness. Wickedness has a time where, the earth's been broken down, the seeds have been sowed, and it's been it's grown, and it's bared its fruit, and it's time to reap that said fruit, all right? So that's why it looks like, this rulership that is ruling is wicked and is thriving, but that's only so the fruit can be reaped, okay? by the forthcoming judgment. So now I want to give you an example, all right, of when Esau bared rule, but under a different name, all right, being that of Cain, all right. So I'm going to read a few scriptures from Genesis 4, and then I may jump to Genesis 6. Actually, I will jump to Genesis 6 just to conceal the point. So this is the example. This is Genesis 4 and 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? To which really he is his brother's keeper. But that shows you that the wickedness in Cain that was within his heart, the Most High set the pattern before him, told him, listen, this is the figure of, this is how you offer up an offering unto the Lord. But he brought what? Vegetables, as opposed to slewing an animal, a clean animal at that, all right? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And that's why, listen, the Lord, that shows you, because there's a scripture in the word where it actually speaks about this. It says that, because I believe it's in Hebrews, the 11th chapter, where basically, because of the righteousness of Abel, that he was heard when he went up to the heavens, right? Because what does it say in the book of Psalms? Precious in the eyes of the Lord are the death of his saints, all right? Or his prophets, should I say. Something to that effect. So Abel, that was a precious death, and that blood was precious unto the Heavenly Father. That's why he heard the moan of Abel unto him, and then set forth this judgment, right? And now art thou cursed from the earth, which have opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. Because what? Blood, it pollutes the land, and the blood can only be unpolluted by the shedding of the blood therein, all right? Which happened at some point, which I'm going to get into later on, all right, to show you the judgment of the Lord. Even though he gave this judgment, there was a greater judgment to come. It was a process of him fulfilling that threshold, meeting that threshold to receive his main judgment, all right, during this time. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. And that's kind of funny, because what did he actually give as a offering unto Yahweh Bar Shem Shai, or Yahweh at that time? It was vegetables. So those same vegetables now, the weight and the girth that they had when he offered them came back to bite him in the arse, even showing you that you reap what you sow in a funny way in that event. All right, when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee a strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. All right. So basically, everyone's gonna see Cain and be like, what? Like they're gonna look upon him and say, yo, this guy can't be around here. And only is fulfilled through this. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond. Yeah, because his face was hid even before this happened, because he had an opportunity, as it tells you in Isaiah, even in Psalms 50 and 16, about taking unto the wicked, why take thou my words in thy mouth? Basically knowing that they can't keep them, all right? Because it's not in their spirit to do righteousness, in their spirit to do wickedness, right? Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the earth, from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me, all right? So the Most High, I'm going to read on actually, and the Lord Yahweh said unto him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any find him should kill him. So that mark was what? Leprosy, okay? A lack of pigment, to basically make it known that, look, if you kill this man, that he'll come back at you sevenfold, all right? And that really was to fulfill, in tune with his spirit. verse 23, and Lamech had unto his wives Ada and Zillah, her, hear my Slakia. And Lamech said unto his wives Ada and Zillah, hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech, hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. Alright? So showing you that proceeding from, Cain receiving that judgment and being, cast out of the garden away from the face of the Most High Power, he basically did what? His lineage basically end up doing another murder. And then he even said, anyone that should do what I do, anyone that should slew me now, they should receive 70 and sevenfold. Okay? So 77 times the hurt. Alright? So let me jump to verse 6 now to show you the judgment at the time. Chapter 6, sorry. So Genesis 6 and 5. And Yahweh saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth. Now, whose wickedness was really great in the earth? I mean, all of the men there were wicked, alright? But mainly it was personified by who? You had three classes of men back there. You had the sons of God, the sons of men, and you had the sons of the wicked. And guess what? If if wickedness was great on the earth, the sons of God and the sons of men could only do so much to compete with the sons of wickedness. Alright, sons of the wicked. So anyway, and that every imagination of the thoughts of the heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord Yahweh that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord Yahweh said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and creeping thing. Okay? And the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. Right? And there's no telling, they could have been doing bestiality, all kinds of things with these animals for them to be slated to that judgment. But Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahweh. Alright? So that's his chosen, the elect. And behold, even I do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh wherein is the breath of life. And under heaven and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with thee will I establish my covenant, and shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife and thy sons' wives with thee. So that being the point, that the Most High ultimately Cain and his descendants, alright, Lamech, and all the wicked, that was the ultimate judgment that they had at that time. That basically that they'd be destroyed. They reaped what? Wickedness upon the earth. You had Cain commit a murder, and it was put out there, look, if you mess with this guy, that you will receive sevenfold, because that's true to the spirit of Esau. Esau will revenge himself in any matter. And that's why even it was said by Lamech that, look, if anyone would have done it to Cain, my father, it would have been 7 times. So if anyone does it to me, it should be 77 times. Alright? Showing you the spirit of Cain, of the wicked Esau. Alright? But guess what? The judgment was fulfilled by the flood, because he was steady there doing his wickedness, and then them droplets of rain, they fell on his forehead, in his dog-like hair, and he was like, what's this rain? And then guess what? He was swept away by the flood. And that's no different today. Alright? So to close out this, I'm going to get this. This is 2 Peter 3. And I'm going to read from 1 down to 7. This second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you, in both which I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance. Alright? And that's what this is all about. Okay? That's why I made the example, spoke of the example of Cain. Alright? Because these things are the things that are written aforetime are written for our learning. Alright? And this is what Peter was really pressing, to stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance, to remind you the characteristics of Yahweh Bar Shem Yahushai and the men that followed Yahweh Bar Shem Yahushai, that had the spirit of Yahweh Bar Shem Yahushai Bar Shem HaRakah Kadash upon them. all right, that ye may be mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets, all right, and that's what we ought to do, and of the commandment of us, the apostles of the Lord and Savior, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts, all right, and that's proof, because right now we have scoffers speaking, but they're gonna be silenced. But again, that shows you we're in the last days. That's why they're there, as a sign of the times, okay? And saying, where is a promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. And that's why I read in the beginning, Galatians 6th chapter, and the 7th verse, all right? Be not ignorant, be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked, for that which a man soweth is that which a man shall reap, basically. All right, that's why I've read that, because they're ignorant of the fact that the Most High served judgment up to Esau, all right, Cain. It doesn't tell you that Cain died in the flood, but you do the maths. All the wicked were taken away, all right? So where's Cain's descendants? They're back here, but they were reincarnated on the other side of the flood through Esau, all right? Verse 5, for this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of Yahweh the heavens were of old, right? It tells you in the book of Hebrews that things seen were made by the things that are not seen, all right? Being that the spirits in the fourth dimension, in the spiritual realm, made everything that we see before us, all tangible things that you can touch, right? And, obviously dealing with the 6 days of the making of the world, and then we made things that are within this world, but we were made, and all the trees and all these different things were made by what? By way of this, the elect, Yahweh Shai, and the angels, all right? For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of Yahweh the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, all right? That's how the earth was created. Remember, you had water, then the earth came out of the water, and then you had man come out of the water as well onto the earth, whereby the world that then was being overflowed with water perished, okay? And that's what they forget, that look, the world before was destroyed by way of the flood. But the heavens and the earth, which are now, by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of the ungodly men. So now this is the flip side, all right? The Lord is going to play it out in the same way, in the same pattern, basically. Because when you deal with cleansing agents, all right, when you go to the Lord, the two main cleansing agents are water and fire. If you want to purify metals, you put it through a fining pot, through the process of fire, basically. But then other things, like us, for example, human beings, you go through what? Cleaning by way of washing yourself with water, okay, to make yourself clean. So now the earth before was cleaned by what? By way of water. But now, because the Lord made a promise and put the rainbow, the bow in the sky, being a rainbow, to show a token of his covenant with men, starting with Noah, that he wouldn't flood the earth again. He's now basically going to do it by way of fire, to hold true to his word, all right, to basically cleanse his earth and to purify it, and really to get rid of ungodly men upon this earth and make it pure, to install the kingdom of heaven upon earth. So with that, man, I pray you're edified. Shalom.